I have heard the call of different groups from the medical community for a 2-week enhanced community quarantine (ACQ) in Mega Manila. I fully understand why your health workers would like to ask for such a timeout period.
Wait, what actually are viruses? How does it look like? How does it attach to a host? How are viruses released? How does it replicate? Shh! Worry no more. In this short clip, we will enlighten ourselves with what a microscopic virus is. So what are viruses? Viruses are particles that are not alive. They cause diseases and infections. Viruses are made up of nucleic acid, either DNA or RNA, surrounded by a protein coat. They are smaller than the tiniest bacterium. Most biologists agree that viruses are not alive. They replicate or make copies of themselves. However, viruses need the help of living cells to copy themselves. The cell in which a virus replicates is called the host cell. Now, as we all know, COVID-19 disease is caused by a virus named coronavirus. As it infects the humans, they now become the host. In case Naruto gets the infection, the virus will now enter his living cell, which may cause any disruption in his normal body functioning. Maybe he will be isolated from his ninja friends. How does a virus attach to a host cell? Every virus has a specially shaped device called an attachment protein. Viruses actually differ in size and shape. Every virus has an inner core of nucleic acid. This core contains the virus genetic material. Some viruses contain RNA, some contain DNA. The nucleic acid contains the instructions for making copies of the virus. The outer protein coat surrounding the virus is called a capsid. The arrangement of proteins in the capsid gives the virus its shape. The protein arrangement also determines what cell can be infected and how the virus infects the cell. Some large viruses contain another layer called an envelope. How are viruses released? Viruses can be released in two ways. Lysis, the bursting of a cell, is one way viruses can be released. Exocytosis, the active transport process by which materials are expelled from a cell, is the second way. Both ways release new viruses from the host cell. There is actually two viral replication cycles, the lytic cycle and lysogenic cycle. Lytic cycle starts when the virus is getting inside the host cell. Then the virus genes are expressed. The substances that are produced take over the host cell's genetic material. When viruses take over the cell stops producing the materials it needs to live. It uses its own enzyme and energy to make new viruses. The new viruses then burst from the host cell and the host cell dies. The new viruses can then infect and kill other host cells. While lysogenic cycle is a replication cycle in which the virus nucleic acid is integrated into the chromosome of the host cell. The cycle begins in the same way as lytic cycle. The virus attaches to the host cell and its nucleic acid enters the cell. Instead of taking over the genetic material of the host, the viral DNA is included in the host cell's chromosome. Once that happens, the viral DNA is called a provirus. The cell continues to carry out its own metabolic activity, but every time the host cell reproduces, provirus is replicated as well. This means that every cell that comes from an infected host cell has a copy of the provirus. The lysogenic cycle can last for many years. At any time, though, the provirus can be activated and enter a lytic cycle. When that happens, the virus will replicate and kill the host cell. After all that has been said, one may wonder and ask, what's the origin of viruses? Do they represent an early form of life? In that case, scientists actually suggest that viruses might have originated from their host cells. Some scientists suggest that viruses may be nucleic acids that break free from their host cells while still being able to replicate parasitically within the host cell. Above all, those were just suggestions of where the viruses really originated. That ends our short video clip about viruses. On our next video, we will be talking about bacteria. As you patiently wait, please be careful of your life, consider your safety a top priority, and continue to wonder how great science will be when blended with faith.